Jeff, thanks. At 7:49, we're in the garden this morning. Joining us, our gardening expert, Dabney Morgan. Dabney, good to have you in the studio again.
I'll tell you, it's comfortable in here now with all the heat Jeff's predicting for us. I could just hang right around here
Not
today,
a bad
take
spot.
phone calls all day long. If
There you go.
to.
Hey, don't tempt us. We might take you up on that. 100 degrees today,
I know.
103 tomorrow.
Yeah.
We talked about the crops in the Midwest having some issues there. What's it looking like locally for our gardens?
You know, we've got several problems. First of all, you know, when you have heat like this, in the middle of the day, you look out and your plants are wilting, and not necessarily because they're dry, just the fact they're losing more moisture through the foliage than they can take up at one time. So you have to be careful not to overwater. Jeff and I were talking before I went on the air. You know, roots of plants still need to dry out some with this heat. So, you know, be careful not to overwater. Most things do not need to be watered every day. If you feel like, well, I want to really make them look a little better or keep them happy, if you want to just sprinkle the foliage during the day a couple of times, that's fine. But other than that, once every few days watering to make sure the ground dries out some between watering. Now, the other problem is on some crops, with so much heat, they want to grow faster, so you're not going to get the fruit development that you would normally get. I've noticed on my cucumbers, they'll be this, you know, an inch or 2 inches long today, and tomorrow they're fully developed. If you wait till the second day, they've gotten too large and you can't use them. And grasses, fescue lawns, you know, they're cool weather grasses with the heat. It's not the best conditions. Hold off on mowing. So first of all, we mow high during the hot weather, and then if you let it go a little longer, just so you don't have to water as frequently. When you mow your grass, you're taking the leaves off, so you're taking the moisture away from the plant. So let it stay a little taller. Once we get a little break in the weather, then possibly mow.
All right, let's get to the phone lines. We've got a lot of folks waiting to talk with you, Dabney. We'll start on line 4. Kid in Chesapeake is standing by. Kid, good morning. What's your question for Dabney?
Yeah, that was the exact question I wanted to ask. How often do you water the plants, you know, during the day?
Right. Well, those container plants you're going to have to be a little bit more aware of. You may have to water those daily fairly well or every couple of days. But those that are in the ground, let them go a few days between waterings. Just if you want to top water, just put a little moisture on the foliage. That's all that's necessary. Early in the morning. Late in the evening, watering is not good because going into dark, with water on the foliage, you create disease conditions.
All right, let's go to line 1 now. Staying in Chesapeake, Vincent's there. Vincent, good morning. What's your name for? What's your question for Dabney?
Yeah, my tomatoes. I got a tomato garden in Norfolk, and the tomatoes are rotting before they turn red.
If they're rotting from the bottom, that's due to blossom end rot, and that's due to a calcium deficiency in the soil, plus the soil staying too wet. If their whole tomatoes rotting, then that's a problem, again, of overwater. And you know one thing, pardon me, while we're talking about crops, if you're in between crops, this is a great time of year. Downtown Portsmouth has a little stand set up.
Yeah.
Smithfield, lots of areas have these local produce that the farmers are bringing in. So it's a good time to do a little shopping locally and support your local farmers.
Yeah, it helps them out, and I'm sure they'd be happy about that. Hey, let's stay in Chesapeake now. Carolyn's on line 2. Carolyn, good morning. What's your question for Dabney?
Good morning, Dabney.
Good morning.
Calling because I'm having another problem. I have huge green tomatoes, but they won't turn red.
Heat, just be patient. They will, but the heat, that's not unusual. And also, I haven't had anybody call yet, but you know, this time of year, a lot of times you'll actually see the tomato split. And that's due to the fact the tomato tries to take up more water too quickly, and the, pardon me, the skin will not stretch in cord, so you'll get a splitting, but it doesn't affect the flavor of the tomato.
So you're saying Carolyn should just be patient, and, and they're going to turn red?
Yes, it's this heat that it just takes a little longer.
All right, Dabney Morgan, always good to have you here.
Thank you.
Hey, again, if folks have questions, we're going to post your email on our Wavy Facebook page.
Right.
Let them get a hold of you there, and I know that they'll, of course, continue to push them forward to you.
Yes, thank you.